back to another video here on No Sugar Coat Podcast. We back again in our lovely new studio, man. I'm hearing good things about the first video we posted, bro. Really, really good things, man. They loving it. You understand really what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They loving everything that we doing. I know y'all see these beautiful ladies in the building. If you didn't already know, they've already been on the show. Ladies, just take a few minutes to introduce yourself just for a moment before we get into it. If they don't already know who y'all already are, you know.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Hollywood Hippie, aka Taylor. Listen to my new song on all platforms called Sky by Hollywood Hippie. Please.
Yep. Okay. Hey, go ahead and tell her who you are, Miss Lexi.
Dyslexia with a Y, not an I, because I ain't a basic.
Oh, you
know.
better talk.
Okay.
Okay. And then y'all already know who that man is over there. He don't need no introduction, am I right? Look, y'all know how we do things on the video. Before we get into anything, we want to give all praise and honor to God because he is the reason why we're here today. You understand what I'm saying? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
That's amen right
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, y'all in for a treat tonight. It's going to be a good one tonight, right? It's going to be a
Great
good one.
topic.
The first topic we talking about, guys, dating single parents. How we feel about that? What's our thoughts, guys, on dating single parents? Go ahead and Roy, you kick it off.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Dating single parents is not easy. I understand from the simple fact that my father married a single mother. When my mother and my father met, my sister had already been born. You know, and my father was a very specific man, a very strong, a very courageous man, as I've said on other podcasts, on other episodes. And, you know, he had the strength to be able to, you know, take on the ability to be a father to somebody else's child. And as a result, they got married. They had my brother, then they had me. And they've been married for almost 40 years. So, can it be good? Yes, under the right circumstances.
Would you do it?
Would I do it? Probably not.
All right.
Probably
right. Miss Hollywood Hippie, go ahead and give the people what you think.
Personally, for me, it's a no. But my mom was a single mom, and she recently got married, and I do feel like had someone would have been there, then like childhood would have been smoother for me. But as for my personal life, when I have my first child, I want to be with that person forever. For the rest of my life,
Talk
you
to
know?
somebody. Okay.
And I think it can bring drama because, like, I've seen stories to where, like, people do marry a single mom and they don't tend to love the child as much as that they would love their own. So I would much prefer for me to, you know, date and seek people that, like, don't have children to where we can start our own thing instead of me entering into something that's already been established in a way.
That's beautiful. Miss Lexi, go ahead and give it to him.
Me personally, yes, because I actually am marrying somebody who did have a daughter before our son came into the picture, and I love her like my own, literally, like, I don't know, the love for her, like anything for her. So pretty much, yes, I would, and I would do it all over again for sure.
Aww.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's amazing.
Would you do it all over again, or would you do it all over again for that person?
Both.
Ooh.
So I like that. I like that. Let me give y'all my viewpoint on it. I tried it. Almost, kind of. It wasn't serious. It wasn't like something we didn't really get into it, but I didn't mind it. Of course, I was standoffish because I'm not in the headspace to have a child right now. Doesn't mean I'm opposed to it. It's not something I've ever tried or had to deal with. But what I can say is I think that for the right person, I will do it. And let me tell you why. I love my stepmom with all my heart, and I've shouted her out in every video, most of the videos I've posted, because without her, I would not be the man that's sitting here today in this seat. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And she came into our lives because my mom is with a woman. They've been married, I think mom has been 2020, I hope I'm right. And she's been with her since I was 7 years old. And she has made such an impact on my life, and she's not even my actual blood mother. You know what I'm saying? She loved me like I was her own. You understand what I'm saying? And I just think that's something powerful. I think it does maybe take special people. It's not for everybody. You two over there, but it's not for everybody. But I do believe for the people that are able to do it, I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think that could potentially be me. I'm not saying I disagree with any. I love everything that you guys said, especially you, because I want to build that family from like a fresh start with somebody as well. I don't want it to already be established. I want to go through those things that we have to learn together and not by myself. Like, oh, the mom know what to do, but I'm kind of in the backdrop, like, I don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to have those moments together and not be one-sided when it comes to that. But I do believe it's possible. I do believe it's something that could happen. Yeah?
Love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like that?
Love that.
I love that. I love that. What do you think is like a certain time frame before you start dating as a single parent?
That's a good question, man.
The way you looking at me.
Oh,
You
yes.
can go ahead and answer that question because you're looking like you got a whole lot to say.
yes. It's definitely a time frame because I got with my baby daddy like I want to say like 6-7 months after I found out, and on top of that, whenever we first got together, he potentially was another father to another kid with another girl. So I had to distance myself. Mind you, I didn't have my kid at the time, so I had to distance myself.
You were 6 months. You said you were 6 months pregnant though, right? What did you say? You 6 months? What did you?
No. It was I distanced myself like 6 months until we
6
actually got into our
Okay.
relationship.
Got you. No, now I get what you're saying. Okay,
So I'm like,
okay.
oh well, you just whoop-de-woo over here and there, and I'm like,
We're not doing this.
yeah,
Okay.
like, are you gonna be with me or all these
Are you
other,
gonna be with all
you
them?
know? So
Ooh.
yes, I definitely think it's a time frame, and time is wisely.
You better talk. You better talk.
If I were to date somebody with a child, that child can't be a newborn. It can't be within under 3 years of age because I feel like that's a confusing time for the parents. They're still figuring out like how to be parents, how to keep the baby alive, and they're also still trying to figure out like their relationship dynamic now as a parent. So I feel as if I were to date someone, like their child would have to be like 4 or 5 to where they would have like that time to go ahead and figure out their whole relationship and their whole family unit. Because I feel like if I date someone with a 6-month-old, he's like a brand new father. He's still looking at the mom of his kid like, you just gave life to like my seed. So nah.
Wow, I love that. Taylor, you be talking. Bro, you be talking.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think under the right circumstance, if a woman is special enough, she can get you to break rules, your own rules.
You better.
I'm just saying.
Hey, you talking?
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, my father did not want to date a single mother.
I don't think anybody
But
do.
he definitely did.
What? Yeah.
I have a question
And I'm
though
here as a result.
for you.
Okay, go ahead.
What makes a woman special enough?
What makes a woman special?
You better.
Well,
love this.
that's really a situational thing because here's the thing. One, it depends upon the crop of women that are around in the vicinity.
Okay.
So, like, a woman can have, a child with somebody else, and that, a lot of men see that as a ding against her.
Okay.
But she might be able to have certain qualities that overshadow. So, like, in other words, she might be extremely comforting to that man. She might give him something that he's never had from other women.
I love where you're going. I don't want to cut you off, but I want you to personalize it
Okay.
for you because you, in your heart, said you would not do it. How special? What does she need to do
I
in order
would
for
not
you?
prefer to do it.
What you wouldn't prefer? Okay, my bad. You wouldn't
See,
prefer.
I wouldn't prefer to do it.
But what would she have to do? How special would she have to be?
It's
in
one
order
of
for
those
you
things where you can only answer the question
once you
when you're in there.
when you're in it.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's one of those
Okay.
things where it's like it's a lot of no's until it's a yes.
Okay.
Once it's an actual yes, and you find that one that actually really allows you to feel comfortable to take that risk.
You better.
Because here's the thing.
Because I found that.
There's a lot of risk. There is a lot of risk in dating a single mother, especially if things don't work out. Because if things don't work out and you get married and you're basically adopting the child, basically. What will typically happen is if things don't work out, you may be liable for child support for that child, depending upon the situation, depending upon the state. Yeah, there are cases.
I just want to interrupt real quick
Go
because
ahead, 'cause I don't
just
know
feel
about that.
I
Yeah.
just feel like we're like single mother, but what about a single father?
Ooh.
Start with True.
What about single fathers?
Like, say like, would you? Well, y'all can't really,
Because I
But
ain't got
Taylor,
kids.
like,
I ain't
would
got
you,
none of them.
Go into a relationship with a man, it's not newborn and it's older than 3 years old. Like, how would you feel, and like, how would you take on that, that adventure?
Give it a mic, take
It
the mic.
depends on if I'm ready for the responsibility or not, because I know that dating a man with a child does come with a lot of responsibility, and it depends on if I'm able to be second in a man's life, because right now in my life, I want to be a priority and stuff like that. But if a guy was able to make me feel like a priority while maintaining a relationship with his child and being actually a good father and actually making effort, then I would find that attractive, because, I'd be like, okay, I see how you are with your child. Like, maybe I can see that you would be a good man to have a kid with for myself or whatever. But, he just has to be with this kid, like, have a set schedule. He can't, like, be like one of those baby daddies that goes and sees his kid once every 4 months and stuff like that.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, like, you can also look at how a man treats their kid to let you know how they're
you
going to
gonna
treat
treat
you. Yeah, for sure.
Enough
yeah,
said. Enough said.
Hey, that's it. That's it. Give us some fucking some snaps, boy.
Right.
That's it. That's it. Wow. Really good question.
But as for y'all, I feel like men look at, like, single mothers in a different way than women look at single fathers. Because,
Yes.
like, a lot of times single fathers will be like, yo, like, I get so many more women now that I'm a father. Like, that I'll meet them at the park. Like, they'll think it's so cute. But single fathers will be dogging out so many women, and use their kid as a pawn.
You know what? That makes sense. Honestly, before I got into the last situation that I was in, and I talked to Royal, I didn't even have an opinion on dating a single mother. Like, I didn't think about it because it's not something I had any exposure to. I've never been attracted, or nobody's ever been attracted to me that had a child. And Royal said something to me that I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but I think it makes sense. He said, we're not built to take care of another man's seed.
Well, on a biological perspective,
That's what you said.
if you
And I
look
was
at
like,
nature,
yeah, when he said it, I had the same thing. I was the same way you were. I was like, ooh, that's kind of like.
Have y'all ever seen Lions in the Pride? So, like, I saw this documentary about a woman lion who accidentally had cubs out with a man outside of the pride. So she needed to get back into her pride or whatever. But the pride king, he will kill her cubs
Yes.
if it's not, like, his cubs. And so
Yes.
he'll sniff it out, and if it's not his, he'll kill him, or she'll get exiled.
But
not
imagine that in a human.
Imagine that in a human.
Right. Like, that's
We
messed
can't
up.
kill 'em, you know what I mean?
I mean,
But,
of
like,
course not, but you can still like shun somebody
Yeah.
out or not associate yourself with someone. Wow, that's
yes.
so.
That's crazy.
In a way, do you see what Royal means by a man not biologically being created to take care of another man's seed?
Well, it's not natural. I mean, it's something that's possible, of course,
Of
but
course.
it's not necessarily natural.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not natural, because I'm a Christian, And in Leviticus, it does say that you cannot have sexual relations with your sister, even if she is married in. So I feel like since God even made it a point to put in, like, you can't have sexual relations with your stepsister, that, like, you know, men have been marrying women with other kids. So I wouldn't say it's unnatural, but I would say that the natural order of God is for people to have one spouse for life to where they won't even have to deal with the situation. But like God also knows that this situation will come up, and
So he speaks on it.
he does speak on it.
How you feel about that?
It's very interesting.
Oh, it don't got you thinking. It don't got you.
I mean, like I said, when it comes to single mothers,
Okay.
I think that as people, we, how do I put it like this? I'm trying to figure out.
Take your time. Take your time.
Like I said, it's not natural, but it's doable.
Mm.
You know, a lot of times sometimes it's success, sometimes things fall apart, but typically, as far as me, I prefer for, of course, people to stay with their, you know, baby mothers and baby fathers, but of course, we don't live in a perfect world.
100%. I told
So then the question
everybody I
is,
speak to,
so then the question
we
is,
together forever.
what is the solution when things can't work out?
Mm. Mm.
How do we give children a second chance when the first thing doesn't work out?
Yeah, because in the end of the day, you're hindering the child. Ooh.
That's
I think we have to have a serious conversation of contingency plans as far as when relationships don't work out.
Mm.
That's deep.
But then at the same time, what are we doing as people to make the relationship work? Are both sides even trying
Are you putting
to
in
see
the
the
work?
other side?
Are you putting in the work? Because it's very important to have that understanding to see the other side. We always forget that, right? I have this acronym I live by, and the girl I'm with right now, she actually had me add a letter to it, believe it or not. But it's CUT, right? CCUT. It's communication, compromise, understanding, and trust. Them are the foundations of any relationship that you should have, right? If those things are not there, we just you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
I don't understand what else can be built from there if you don't have that basic foundation built. I love the questions you were asking, Royal. We're going to have to come back to those because
Well, I mean, you got to be able to communicate in relationships.
I have a
Period.
question.
And you have to be able to compromise.
you got a question. I'm going to piggyback off what you said a minute ago. But go ahead and ask your question.
What do you think makes a mom a single mom? So, like, I feel as if when the baby's born, most of the time, like, the couple tries to come back together for the life of the child and stuff like that. But what do you think would be a deal breaker between a man and a woman with a child?
What would be a deal breaker?
Yeah, like, how does a mom end up being a single mom? Is it on the mom's part? Is it on the dad's part?
I mean, I think both of them can be at fault. I don't think it's on any side. Somebody can do wrong. The other person can do wrong. It doesn't really matter. Maybe it just didn't work out.
I
Maybe you
think it's
naturally
both.
fell out of love.
I think it's always both. And the reason why I say it's always both is because if one person leaves, the other person picked that person. It's one person's fault for leaving, the other person's fault for picking that person.
I mean, when I picked him, I
Ooh.
didn't think he
never
was going to
looked at it
leave.
like that.
You know what I mean? I
But
didn't.
that's so shallow, though. It gotta be
because you
deeper
gotta
than
think about
that.
it, you gotta think about it like this though. If the woman wanted to leave, okay, if the woman wanted to leave and this and that, and she didn't want to be with that man, it is still on you the fact that you picked to sleep with that person as the man. And then same if you flip it. If he wanted to leave, and it's his fault for leaving for one, her fault for picking to let herself sleep with that man. So
I agree with that.
so no matter what, it's on both sides.
I agree with the both sides thing.
It's on both sides.
It's on both sides. No
I
matter how you
disagree.
look at it. Because remember, like they say, it takes two to tango.
100%. 100%.
So I mean, let's just keep it a stack. I think everybody has their hand in how they become a single mothers. I think one of the biggest
A
problems with
single parent. Just say single parent.
single mothers, single parents.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the biggest problems is that they like to blame other forces.
Of course.
You know,
Without taking
when-
accountability.
when a person becomes a single mother, a single father, a single parent, what happens is they act like something happened to them, when in reality they made something happen. The thing that happened was a result of their own actions, be it man or woman.
I don't know if I agree with that. Oh, God, I don't know if I agree with that.
So why don't you agree with it? What do you challenge?
Because he says it takes two to tango and stuff, and it's equally both persons' fault.
I didn't say equal.
Well, it's both parties' fault that, like, they end up single. But a lot of the times that, like, men, and we talked about this last time I was on your show, men can hide the fact that they are a certain way for a duration of time. So I would say that women sometimes don't even know who they truly are with, because men can masquerade themselves so well until things get real, and then they don't want it to be real no more, and then they up and leave. Like, that's why there's way many more single moms than single dads, because men tend to up and leave, bro. Like, I've seen it with my friends, like, men will be like, I just don't feel like I really want this responsibility. Like, I'm gonna go live with my homeboy and stuff like that instead of taking care of the child. And the whole time he was acting like Prince Charming. And then this is like a side swipe to me, like, dang, dude, like, I had your kid and now you wanna do all this? Now you're not ready? So that's why I can see both sides. Like, I'm not gonna act like women's perfect and, like, stuff like that, but more often than not, that tends to be why single moms end up being single moms. But they should have been more careful.
No, keep going.
Keep going.
No.
Keep going. Keep going.
I better not lose this.
Keep going.
I mean, like, yeah, they should have been more careful with who they chose to sleep with, but we can't act like men just, like, show their sleeve from the very start. Like, they really don't. They really don't.
So, in other words, men will use the possibility of a relationship.
So look, we talked about this in a previous video. And I'm gonna tell you what I said in the video. I'm gonna give it to you like this. A person will show you exactly who they are no matter what words come out of their mouth. I think that a lot of women, and I think us men can do it too. Us as people can do it, like I said in the video.
Yes.
We choose to see what we want to see.
Ooh. No,
Do you get what I'm saying when I say that? A person can say all day long, I love you and I want to be with you, but are they showing you that they want to be with you? Exactly. Or are they doing those things that you need them to do to know that so you can feel loved? You get what I'm saying?
Do they show or do
Just
they
because
tell?
he's being Prince Charming, is he really being Prince Charming? Is he really being genuine about it? Do you really feel like this man loves you and potentially will take care of your child one day if you was a single mother? I think we see what we want to see.
Not necessarily. I feel like men show the best of their capabilities in the beginning.
Taylor.
And then, like, after
I'll
things
call you
get
by your
old,
name,
after
yeah.
they're used to the same thing over and over and over, they tend to get bored, and that's when you see the true them. Because it's like, at the beginning of a relationship, everybody does show their best foot forward, but I feel like women
yes,
tend
I
to
agree.
keep it on longer than men do. Like, men check out of a relationship way faster than a woman does.
Ooh, that's a good question.
But is that
checks out of a relationship fast?
But is that a good or bad thing, though?
It's
would you
bad.
rather it be fast or be long and drawn out?
That is
The
true.
would you rather the facade last for too long or for it to fade away?
I'd rather it not to be a facade, because my
Well-
goal is to get married
Well, of
and have
course.
children.
Of course, but in the situation of what we're talking about, I think it's just bad, period.
I mean, I don't want to, because, like, so many women get pregnant by a facade and stuff, and, like, I really do feel like that. Like, and then, like, they're probably 6 months into their pregnancy, and then they figure out, like, oh, this dude is not who I thought he was,
It happens.
and now they're stuck. with the child.
Come on,
So-
come on, go ahead and spill it, because you ready to talk. Talk.
Nah, I'm just like, okay, so
Good stuff,
me
Taylor. Really good
personally, okay, whenever I was ready to settle down, I wasn't like every other girl and just went and got pregnant. Like, I told myself, okay, I'm gonna stop telling everybody like I love them and stop throwing the L word around. And then how I met my baby daddy is because he's the one who told me I love you first. And literally is the best dad to this day. And I can't stress that enough. And I don't know, I'm just really glad I picked him because I do understand your standpoint of view. But at the same time, like, even if me and my baby daddy split, I know my child is going to be great and well taken care of, period.
Yeah, that's an amazing feeling to have.
Yes.
That really is.
And like, I've seen it with friends, like very close friends and stuff, like they've been through, the single mother phase, and, I've seen single fathers too. And like I said, I do agree with Taylor. Like, it's just, you got to pick that right person. Don't just hop into a relationship and just, because then at the end of the day, there are going to be consequences.
For your actions, yeah. Ooh.
Had to pause on it.
Y'all talking. Y'all talking. Okay. Taylor, we had talked about our situation. I don't know if you're still with the dude or not. I'm not sure if you are, but you know exactly which one I'm talking about. You would tell me these things that he was doing that was kind of like standoffish or weird, awkward, or like made you feel some type of way. And it was very early on when you were telling me those things. So, back to what I was saying. When those red flags arise, you decided to see that facade that you wanted to see and not pay attention to what directly was in your face.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, because, like, yeah, we
Can you
were still
partially
kind
agree
of
with me?
on
At
and
least
off.
partially agree with me.
I do kind of partially agree, but then again, I don't.
Okay.
Because, like, it wasn't like that whole thing was just like, oh, he'd come over and then we'd kick it at my house and stuff like that. We'd actually go out and do things. We actually spent quality time together. We'd actually, like, have new experiences together and stuff like that. But then it'll, like, flip all of a sudden, and then it'll, like, it's just like a really flip-floppity thing and stuff like that. So, I mean, I can't be like, oh, he's a piece of crap, I can't give him credit for nothing, because I can, because, like, he's the whole reason why I got my passport. He's the whole reason why, like, I started to, like, actually look into things that I've dreamt about doing. But at the same time, like, he's the reason I don't trust men.
Ooh, the laugh. Boy.
So, was there like a title on y'all's relationship?
No. N-O.
Well,
no.
okay, I don't even want to get into that, because, like, every time, I'll get into
No.
something.
Uh-oh.
Every
Say it.
time things would start to get like, okay, we're finna put a title on it or whatever, he'd always bring up the topic of, like, a threesome. And I'd be like, no.
So that wasn't a red flag?
Oh.
I mean, it was, but, like, it wasn't like,
But you didn't see it. Oh, no.
no, I've been talking. I just want to say I've been talking to this person for over a year, and we haven't had a threesome yet.
Yeah.
And so,
Now, why haven't you given in?
I just
Is
said,
it because you want a serious relationship with him?
I mean, it's because I don't want to watch him doing it with somebody else. Like, I feel like I would lose my crap. But the only reason why I said yet is because, like, I was trying to compromise, and I was like, the only way I would do it is if we were out of country, like, we were having fun, met some random chick with an accent, and, like, in her country, and just dip back to America right after. Just dip back to America.
Wait,
Heard
so
what
why?
she said, compromise,
Yeah.
did you hear?
Why would you want to
I heard
compromise?
compromise and passport.
No. Why would you want to compromise for a man to, like, you don't want to do that, so you don't want to do that. So go find another man who wants to do what you want to do.
I feel like all relationships or all relationships do take compromise, And in a relationship, like, I am the type to want to, like, eventually please. Like, if it's a fantasy that he has, like,
Why not be a part of it?
I'll do it. And, like, I also feel as if, but I'm not finna just do it right off the bat, Like, he has to earn his wings.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things in relationships we don't want to do, though. That doesn't mean you should write off the individual because that's not something that you're used to doing. Now, I mean, that's something that's a little more out there, but I mean, by that statement that you said, you're kind of insinuating if that's not the way you want to roll, then why won't you find somebody that want to roll the way you want to? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of I get where you're coming from. I don't necessarily disagree, but it's a slippery slope when it comes to that because that example is very much so to the left. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you think about some things that's to the right that's more, normal in a way, you got to think about that in a different light. You can't come into it with that kind of mindset.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got another big question for y'all to get into the second part of the video. Do you think you can be friends with your past sexual partners?
No.
Hell nah.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna lie
I
to you.
think so.
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna say yeah. Period.
Okay, if you say yes, you have to have a lot of self-control as a person.
100%. You have to know what it is and what it wasn't, though, at the end of the day. I'm very straightforward. I'm not the kind. Me as a man, I'm a different kind of man. I grew up with 2 women, and I understand how women think, and I empathize with women, and I like to understand them, and I like to talk to them, and I like to just listen. You get what I'm saying? I'm just not that kind of dude that's going to lie to you in your face, skin and grin. I'm going to tell you what it is and what it ain't. And if you hit me up and that's what you're trying to do, okay, before we do this, what exactly is this going to be? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go ahead and da-da-da. And I'm about to go. and when I see you tomorrow, hey, how you doing? Can y'all? How you doing, man? Everything all right?
Like nothing happened.
But you know what? I don't think it's made for everybody. I don't think everybody can do it. I think there has to be a clear understanding. You do have to have a lot of self-control, and you have to just know yourself and know that person, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and say it like I do it all the time. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not that kind of person. Calm down. Let's not think that. But I'm saying it did happen. I think I've only had maybe one situation where a friend did hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. And when we did, it happened and we were still cool. Like, if we was in a room together, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say no because I have no self-control. I have no self-control, and I have had multiple friends in the past hit me up, and every time we always have sexual intentions for each other, so no.
Okay, I like that. Mississippi.
I'm going to say it depends, but for me personally, yeah. There's like people or guys I've had relationships with or sexual encounters with in the past that I just don't feel that feeling for anymore. But like we started off as friends, and so like even after I lost that feeling for them, I still cared about them as a human being, and it started off with just me being like, yo, bro, are you alive? And then our friendship developed from there, so.
I like that, because it definitely does depend. I'm not making it seem like it's black and white. It definitely depends on the individual.
See, but here's the thing. This is what I think.
Uh-oh.
Okay?
Uh-oh. Give it to us.
I think you can be friends up until you get in a new relationship.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, that's valid, but you see, you're right, but I think it depends on the relationship, right? Because I think if you have enough, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? I can't think of the word. If you're well grounded in your relationship and y'all have the understanding, that communication, and that foundation that's created, and you tell that person this is what you probably did, yeah, there'll be problems. Don't get me wrong. Just like it's simple. Just like it's problems with just having a female friend as a guy and you got a girlfriend. There's gonna be problems. I'm not saying it's right. I'm listening to my significant other because at the end of the day, I'm with them and I'm not with that other person. If you get what I'm saying? And a true friend will understand what you're doing at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? Stop looking like that.
Let me explain something to you, man. As a man, if I got a woman around, okay, if I'm in a relationship and I got a woman around and I know that we done things in the darkness.
So dramatic.
Come on now. You know Shawty ain't gonna wanna let that fly.
Of course not.
It's automatically gonna be a fight waiting to happen.
I'm not saying
it's gonna be what it is.
I'm not saying it will happen. I just say I disagree.
Instability will happen.
I didn't say I
Earthquakes
disagree
will
with
happen
you.
in China.
I didn't say I disagree with you.
There will be tsunami waves hidden in the,
Tsunami wave.
Well, there
in the
definitely will be
coastal
tsunami waves.
There will be tornadoes in Nebraska.
That's so heavy. I mean,
my
tsunami waves.
It'll be
Tsunami
Armageddon.
waves. I'm talking, come on.
It'll be Armageddon.
I'm talking about drenched.
But what if she don't even look at you like that? It takes, like you said earlier in the video, it takes two to tango. And like I know a lot of the guy friends who I've had previous sexual encounters with, if I was just like, yeah, let's do it, they would do it. Like without a doubt, they'd be like, you know, like
I mean, because go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, it takes two to want to do it. So I do really feel as if women can lose sexual feelings and still be able to be friends with their male counterparts. But I don't think men are able to do the same. And I feel like it almost makes men more attracted to the female simply because they're constantly telling them no.
Well, y'all control the
See,
access
but
to
here's
sex.
the thing, though. Just because we ain't attracted to y'all don't mean we ain't
Okay.
gonna.
You know what? Don't do that. Don't do that. But
It could just be a slow Tuesday. Be like, she'll do.
what? I don't know. Oh, stop!
Oh my
Stop. I don't know if you said it, Roy. Who said it? I can't think of where I heard it from. It was men sleep with who they can and women sleep with who they want.
Ooh, look, I got it. So, women sleep with who they want. Men sleep with who they can.
Yeah.
But men marry who they want, and women marry who they can. That's the trade-off.
That's
Nah.
crazy.
Whoa.
I've been engaged before, and I cut off the engagement and
Before.
everything because I didn't want to marry him anymore.
Why?
But why
If
did
you
you
don't
get
mind
engaged?
like answering.
Huh?
But then why did you get engaged?
I mean, because at the time we were in love, we were
Topic.
happy, everything was good, and then things went south. Like,
How
he-
long was this what's this duration before when you got engaged? How long were y'all?
Probably like a year into the relationship, we got engaged, and then we were gonna wait a year to get married. Like, we're gonna have a year engagement and stuff like that. But during that year engagement is when I saw
What you see? Yeah, you
that
see.
he wasn't crap.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't gonna be in a happy marriage. So,
Talking
but
to the mic for me, Tom. Yeah.
that I wasn't gonna be in a happy marriage. So I do feel as if like women marry who they want to, because like if I married who I could have, I would have already been married and in a I wouldn't say loveless, but an unhappy marriage for sure.
See, so
Oh.
I've been in my relationship 6 years total.
Oh,
The first year we were together, we did get engaged, just like you did. But we're still engaged, and we're barely about to get married in March because I wanted to make sure, you know, the ups and downs and all in between, which we have gone through this past 5 years, including death, he's been there. So,
Wow.
yeah, definitely the right one, 100%.
I still sometimes talk to my ex-fiance. Like, sometimes he'll hit me up about like things with his family and stuff like that, and I'll like, you know, I still care about him as a human being and stuff. And like, I don't know, just my engagement ended up pretty bad because I ended up going to jail. I mean, I walked in on him screwing my friend. Yeah, so I had
That's
to.
a good reason to end an engagement.
That was the reason, and he wanted us to work it out. He was like, we can go to counseling. He's like, I'll pay for it. I just pawned the engagement ring for lawyer money. Because I got arrested while I was on probation, and it was just like too much. But I'm good now. He was actually really helpful. He signed an affidavit for non-prosecution so I wouldn't get charged for his assault.
He did what after?
Wait, so you beat his?
Yeah, I beat
Not-
both of their
okay.
asses. But he got the worst end of it.
Oh,
So,
As he should.
as he should, because I'm never gonna go after the woman first. Like, you are my
We
fiance.
do not support violence.
we don't support that. Support the
I
violence.
understand it though.
We understand. We just don't.
I
We,
just-
we can't support.
Oh, we.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't.
Great energy in the room.
Yeah.
I loved every moment of it. Y'all have a good time.
Heck yeah.
That's what I like to hear. Y'all brought some great insight. I enjoy having all of you guys here. They definitely will be back. I had a good time. Everybody have a good time.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, y'all coming back? Y'all gonna come mess with us some more?
100%.
That's what I love to hear,
Yes.
man. Anything y'all want to lead the people with before we get out of here tonight?
Listen
Any-
to
any-
my song on all platforms at Hollywood Hippie. Follow me on all platforms at Hollywood Hippie. That's it for me.
right,
Oh,
anything?
and love Jesus.
Come on, you better love them.
Love
Without him, we
Jesus.
wouldn't be here today.
Just remember, it's with a Y, not an I, because I ain't a basic,
Come on. Finish that. Finish that.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy True World on the beat. We are out here, no sugarcoat, and we out here.
Don't forget to like,
Comment, share.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because I don't have nothing clever to.
And we
God
will catch y'all on the
Nothing
next
clever to say.
video.
Not today.